I stand here today in front of our organ because today I want to introduce you to Isaac Watts. He's a hymn writer. He was a famous hymn writer, and he wrote some really wonderful hymns. As many are missing the nurture and the teaching of our hymns, which help us to praise God and find peace and joy in our souls, I want to introduce you to him today. Isaac Watts was born in Southampton in 1674 and educated at the grammar school there. Having considerable academic ability, he came to the attention of a local benefactor who offered to send him to university. But rather than Anglican Oxford or Cambridge, Watts chose the highly regarded dissenting academy at Stoke Newington in Middlesex. Leaving there in 1694, he worked first as a private tutor before entering the independent ministry, first as assistant in 1699, then 3 years later as pastor to Mark Lane Chapel in London. Because of deteriorating health, he resigned his ministry at Mark Lane in 1712 and retired to Abney Park, Stoke Newington, where for the remaining 36 years of his life he lived under the patronage of the Abney family. Here his limited financial independence allowed him the freedom to write, and yet he was said to have given away to the poor a third of his modest allowance. Physically unprepossessing, it was his serene and spiritual manner and his unswerving faith that endeared him to others and is reflected in the words of many of his hymns. In fact, he wrote over 600 hymns, though few of these are now in regular use. Among his hymns still sung are Jesus Shall Reign Where'er the Sun, Joy to the World, we all know that one, and one of the finest English hymns of any age, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. Known as the father of English hymn writing, Watts both continued in the tradition of metrical psalms and began a general move away from that rather limited musical diet to a richer variety of hymnody that took root in both nonconformity and the Church of England. Here are a couple of verses from When I Survey. See from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flow mingled down. When such love and sorrow meet, or thorns compose so rich a crown. Were the whole realm of nature mine, that were an offering far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all. I invite you to read your own favorite hymn. There is so much to learn from our hymns, from its poetry. It's wonderful poetry, and sometimes we don't hear it when we're singing it, so sometimes it's good to stop and just read it. And then sing them, alone or with someone in your household. It doesn't matter if you sing it perfectly, just sing. You can Google the music and then sing along. That could be helpful too. So that's Isaac Watts. The other thing I want to talk to you about today is the Advent Wreath. This Sunday coming up is our first Sunday of Advent, and our wreath is set up and we'll be ready to light it. So in the next 4 weeks, instead of coming to you on Wednesday with my little video, I will be offering a short video on Sunday mornings lighting our Advent wreath and saying the Advent prayer for that day. And I invite you to set up a wreath in your own house. Just take any 4 candles and set them on a table or a sideboard or anywhere that is appropriate for you, and maybe get some greenery to put around them, any 4 candles, and then light obviously 1 a week, 1 in Advent 1, 2 for Advent 2, 3 for Advent 3, and so on. And you can watch my little video while I say the prayer with you, and as I light the candle here, you can light your candle, perhaps just before supper time, and then leave it lit while you're eating your supper. I find that's quite a pleasant thing to do, and then I light it during the week while I'm eating my supper to help remind me of how closer we are getting to Christmas as we journey through Advent. So I invite you to do that with me in the next few weeks. Take care, and God bless.